Hello and welcome to beautiful Newmarket, Virginia, which tonight is a little bit soggy. We have the Newmarket Rebels taking on the visiting Covington Lumberjacks. I'm Andrew Kipps. I'm going to be joined by Mikey Ragone. We're going to jump in with the starting lineup for the visiting Lumberjacks. Leading off, playing center field, Tyler Tamargo. Batting second, the shortstop, Hendy Gonzalez. Batting third, playing left field, Aiden Zorn. Batting fourth, playing right field, Willie Mendez. The designated hitter, batting fifth, Edwin Melendez. Batting sixth, playing third base, Jason Bello. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Justin Allen. Catching and batting eighth, Martin Howell. Batting ninth, playing second base, Jack Dead. On the mound.
Sorry, I was just going to say Cole Eaglesizer on the mound, like you said earlier. 14 innings pitched. He's got a 4.5 ERA. One of the Rebels' more reliable starters so far this summer.
Yep, Cole has been good. I believe this is his fourth start. Pitched 6 innings against Winchester earlier this year. Allowed 1 unearned run. That's his best start for the Rebels.
Off the cannons for the second game. Center fielder number 13, Tyler Tamargo.
Eaglesizer has finished his warm-up pitches, and we are ready to get underway with Tamargo in box. Ground ball back to Eaglesizer. Fires it over to first for the first out of the game.
Time, 7:34.
And we mentioned a few times on last night's broadcast, you had some weather issues prior to that game as well, how the infield and the conditions would affect the play here, especially on defense. Infielders are going to be charging ground balls hard. Ball might be a little wet on some throws.
Hendy Gonzalez in now. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Very sunny right now in Newmarket. It's been a rainy afternoon. Had a beautiful rainbow out in right field. That one's grounded to shortstop. Actually cut off by the third baseman, and throw across is in time.
Great tag by Chris. Got him on the head there. Throw was a little high, but nothing he couldn't handle.
As I was saying, soggy afternoon in Newmarket. Coaches and players have been out here since about 2 o'clock working on the field to get it playable.
They put a lot of great work in, and like you said, they were greeted by a very beautiful double rainbow. There was 2 of them.
Aiden Zorn in for the Lumberjacks. He's one of the better hitters in the league.
I was just about to break down his stats. He has an astounding 478 batting average through 6 games, along with 2 home runs.
This is outside 1-1. That one is in the dirt. 2-1. Tough for the center field and right field kind of side of the field with the sun setting directly behind home plate. The players out there shielding their eyes. Curves a called strike.
Great breaking ball there. Had Zorn kind of locked up.
Eaglesizer 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 first. Curveball grounded foul. Mikey, I said I wasn't going to track balls and strikes tonight, and then I found myself doing it, so I guess I'm in again.
Yeah, once you start, it's hard to stop.
Curve misses down and away. Full count on Zorn.
How do you handle foul balls once it gets to 2 strikes? I've always found that troublesome.
Put a little plus sign beside the strike column. Ground ball in the hole. Cut off by the third baseman. Throws across. Throw pulls first baseman off the bag. Had to jump to catch it. That's going to be an E5. So Zorn will reach on the throwing error by Jack Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, you said he had to jump to catch it. He came down and landed straight back on the bag, but I believe Zorn just arrived before Harbor came back down.
Bang Bang play it first. I could see that one going either way. First pitch to Mendez is a called strike. Saw a highlight today from a major league game. One of the worst out calls at first base I've seen in a major league game in quite a long time. I cannot remember which game it was for the life of me, but it was like probably 3 or 4 feet short of the bag and it got called out. Orioles and the Rays yesterday. So even the best get a call wrong from time to time.
Very much so.
Unfortunately for the Rays, they did not have any replay reviews left, so
Wow.
the call stood even though it was very clearly safe. 1-2 on Mendez. Top of the first 2-out runner on first. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Evil Sizer works around the 2-out error.
One person left on base.
Lumberjacks leave 1 after not scoring. Mikey, you want to hit us with the Rebel lineup while we are in between innings here?
Absolutely. The Rebel lineup to our daily fans might look a little familiar. Leading off, we've got Jonathan Mallow playing second base, Logan Kelly in center field, Blaine Waltmeyer in the 3-hole playing left field, Mike Dubkowski, our cleanup hitter, is in right field, followed by Chris Harbert at first base. Jack Johnson is at third. Brendan Peterson will be the DH. Noah Avey behind the plate as the Rebels catcher. Caleb Newcomer at shortstop. He will be the 9-hitter. Like we said, Cole Evilsizer. Good opening inning. With the exception of that one base runner via the air.
Starting pitcher for the Lumberjacks, Gavin Bennett, comes into tonight's game with an 0-1 record, 2.70 ERA, and 6.2 innings pitched. Has recorded 5 strikeouts. Best performance so far this year was his first appearance against the Front Royal Cardinals on June 1st, where he went 3 2/3 innings and only allowed 1 unearned run.
I believe this is the first and last time Newmarket will be facing off against the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, we were just commenting in the booth. We did not see the Lumberjacks last year. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I've seen a Lumberjacks game since they had the new color scheme. They used to be kind of gold colored. I believe gold and red, but now sporting like the dark blue with teal or Carolina blue kind of as the accent color.
Seems to happen a decent bit. Tough with Newmarket wearing their navy blue, but I really do like the blue combination for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, both teams wearing the navy blue tonight. Rebels just went back to navy blue as their home uniforms a couple years ago after
Jonathan Mallow.
a brief stint where red was the home color. With gray on the road. Jonathan Mallow steps in to face off with Gavin Bennett. First pitch is a called strike. Good shadow at home plate now, really shows up on the camera. Those bunt, gets it down right back to the pitcher. And he knew that that one wasn't going to get the job done. Mallow goes down 1-3.
Yeah, also had a little bit of a stumble coming out of the box. He's taking a peek at it as he circles back around.
Around the center fielder from Colorado State University, Dean Logan. Yeah.
Definitely be something to keep an eye on tonight. The wet field conditions. I think as the game goes, the infield will definitely get choppy. We saw that last night. And footing could be questionable getting out of the box like we saw there with Mallow. Brings up Logan Kelly, the center fielder. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Yeah, I saw a lot of bunting last night to put more pressure on the infield defense. Mallow tried to lay one down there. Got to think that'll be a strategy going forward for either team.
That one's in for a called strike on a breaking ball. Yeah, I like last night and tonight. I think getting the ball in play is going to be a key. There were a lot of errors, a lot of pass balls, a lot of wild pitches last night. And similar conditions today. That one misses inside. I think it's hot, humid, so sweat could be an issue with grip too. Not very friendly grip-wise tonight. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kelly goes down swinging for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Blaine Waltemeyer.
And all those small factors in a vacuum may seem
Left fielder
minuscule,
from Penn State, number 25.
but when you add them up and when they
Waltemeyer.
are applied to chaotic plays that we have tonight, it'll allow for runners to get extra 90 feet, just a lot of missed opportunities or extra opportunities for teams. And last night's affair ended in a one-run matchup. So it could be the difference.
First pitch to Waltemeyer is a ball. Yeah, closely fought game last night. Rebels came up 1 run short against the Strasburg Express. Two out to Waltemeyer, misses down low. Blaine had a pretty good night last night. Got on base a few times, scored a couple runs, had a hit. 3-0 is a called strike. Coming into the year, definitely expected to be one of, if not the best offensive player for the Rebels, but has had a slow start. Swing and a miss.
Coming off a grind of a college season, right back to a grind of a summer season.
Full count. High breaking ball, swung on and missed, strike 3. The Rebels go down in order. After one complete here in Newmarket, it remains 0-0. Edwin Melendez, the designated hitter, leading off the top of the second against Evil Sizing. Fouled off.
It's hard to get a real handle on teams you don't see that often, but it looks to appear as the Lumberjacks have 3 catchers in their lineup.
That one's fouled off. That is an interesting. You don't see that every day. Could be one that plays first base. Maybe get him in as a designated hitter.
Yeah, Melendez is DHing.
Fouled off, stays 0-2.
Melendez DHing, and Justin Allen, the Lumberjacks first baseman, is listed as a catcher. I mean, if you're going to have defensive versatility, the catching spot is where it's at.
Summer baseball, you tend to get that. Players playing all over the place. Had a team today in the league that couldn't list their probable pitcher because they were starting an infielder. Grounded back to Evil Sizer on the mound, flips over to first base. 1-3 for the first out.
Andrew, I meant to read this comment last inning. David said, "Where do bad rainbows go?" It's a prism.
Oh, I like it. You were tuning in last night. You know, we appreciate a good dad joke in the broadcast booth in Newmarket. Swing and a miss, strike one. You also noticed Hannah Hollingsworth not with us tonight, taking a well-deserved day off after a very early start to her day today. Swing and a miss, strike two. He had to start work at 6 a.m. this morning and was needing to go to bed early tonight. 0-2. Bello takes that one for a ball. Bello playing third base tonight for the Jacks. That one's popped up shallow right field. Dobkowski in and calls off Mallow. Be an F9 for the second out.
Bring up the first baseman, number 34, Justin Allen.
Evil Sizer, very aggressive as usual. A lot of strikes, a lot of fastballs, even curveballs for strikes.
You know, the Rebels pitching coach preaches to these guys to fill the zone and make them hit it. Swing and a miss from Justin Allen, the first baseman.
It seemed like every big inning that came to fruition last night was in relation to some walk at some point or some pitcher struggling to find the zone.
That one's in for a called strike. I think it's a little bit interesting too. I know our pitching coach Morgan Saylor is also, well, we're gonna have to wait for that story as Allen goes down swinging for the third out of the inning.
No runs, no
River
hits, no
Bandits
errors,
go down
no
1,
runs,
2, 3 after 1.5 here in Newmarket. We remain knotted at 0.
of the Rebels from Enterprise State Junior College. Right fielder number 18, Mike Domkowski.
Mike Dobkowski, the right fielder, going to lead off. Batting left-handed. Start off tonight. He is a switch hitter. First pitch misses for a ball. What I was saying before the quick end to the top of the inning. Swing and a miss. Rebel pitching coach Morgan Saylor is an umpire for local high school games. And Steve Williams, the home plate umpire, also does high school games. And they occasionally work together, I believe. So that could be an interesting dynamic when you go from being umpires together to coaching with an umpire in that game. Two and two count now on Dobkowski.
Do you think that will make Coach Morgan more inclined or less inclined to argue?
It's a good question. I don't have the answer to that.
I think more inclined. He seems like a respectable fella. I think any argument he has isn't going to end terribly.
That's ball four. Dobkowski is going to trot down to first base runner of the night for Newmarket.
Bennett really trying to locate some pitches on the outside corner there. Was only really going inside with breaking balls and off-speed pitches.
Harper.
Chris Harbert stepping in for the Rebels. Swing and a miss. I'll try to remember to ask Coach Saylor after the game that question. He thinks arguing would be more or less effective, or throw behind Dobkowski at first. He's back safely. See if I have enough energy to stick around post game tonight. Yesterday I checked out early, but very long game in Newmarket last night.
It was.
Almost 4 hours. Outside.
We've seen some fire from the Rebels players at times, but in terms of emotion directed at the umpires, been almost nothing.
Greg, can you hit a button? 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Hit hard. He's going over to second. Throw to first. It's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. So quickly 2 away now for the Rebels.
From Oklahoma City University. Third baseman number 8, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson gets a chance. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch catches the inside corner for strike 1.
Harbert struck that one pretty well, just right at the third baseman. Johnson's been striking it really well over the past few days, especially last night.
That one also finds the zone. Would love to hear from you all in the YouTube chat. Let us know where you are, who you're pulling for. If you're a player's parent, maybe let us know if you're going to be coming in for Parents Weekend coming up. Fouled off 0-2. We always enjoy meeting the parents as they come in, spend a weekend with us here in Newmarket. Take in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley, see some of the sights, spend some time with their boys, watch some good baseball. That one's flared up the middle. It's going to hang up for the second baseman. He's got it.
All right, bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors.
After 2 complete, we remain scoreless. We'll be back for the top of the third in just a minute.
I'd like to say thank you for the Reformation Lutheran Church who will be feeding the Rebels after tonight's game. Reformation Lutheran Church here in Newmarket feeding the Rebels after
I
tonight's
think I'm getting better at switching the cameras.
Yeah.
Last game I was a mess, but I was doing it. But today I've been on it pretty well.
That are not spoken for. Contact Becky Gibbs.
That was really bad last night, the first couple innings.
It takes some like concentration.
Yeah.
That is worth mentioning. Wright State and who? Akron.
You know, when you guys got back from doing the coolers with the mics and I was fighting the wasp, I think I got him. Like that fight I had when you guys walked up on me because I sprayed some Lysol right in his face. And he never showed his face again.
Leading off with the Lumberjacks, catcher number 19, Martin Howell.
Martin Howe going to lead off for the Jacks in the top of the third. I was clued in during the break about some scouts in attendance tonight watching, we believe, Cole Evilsizer, the pitcher for the Rebels. Outside. In this case, college scouts. I heard Akron, Wright State are in the house tonight watching Cole. We've had some other schools in attendance. Well, that one's lined into left field for a single. Baltimore has it. Strong throw into second base. Keeps Howell at first.
Good swing by Lumberjacks catcher there, Howell.
Second baseman number 3, Jack.
There's that curveball Evilsizer loves to throw for a strike. He stayed with him, was able to drive it to left.
I always get excited when you see radar guns popping up behind home plate. You know somebody's getting an opportunity at some level. First pitch to Jack Stead is upstairs for ball one. If you're related to Jack and you want to help us out with the pronunciation on that last name, we had a big debate whether it was Steed or Stead. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Now, last year, early in the year, we had a game where I think there was maybe 8 or 9 scouts watching a Rebel pitcher who ended up transferring to Virginia Tech. Slide out to right. Dobkowski backpedals and reels it in for the first out. That'll bring up Tyler Tamargo for his second chance against Evilsizer.
Center fielder number 13, Tyler Tamargo.
The transfer portal is very popular these days, so college scouts are more common to see in Valley League games than MLB scouts.
First pitch is upstairs.
Not that scouts of any kind are common to see. Right, it is very exciting to see them.
I think they are maybe more prevalent than you would realize, but it is rare. Ground ball out to second. Mallow over to short. Back to first. Called safe at first base. Bang, bang play. Probably could have gone either way, so that'll just be a fielder's choice. Howell out at second.
Great job by Tyler to leg that one out.
Shortstop number 4.
I think he did some own convincing of the umpire there. Very emphatic safe call himself as he crossed the bag.
My read was that he was out, but umpire is a lot closer than us on that one. It was certainly close.
Definitely a lot closer than the call you brought up that we saw between the Rays and the Orioles.
Runner is off. Throw down to second. In time. Avey guns down Tamargo to end the inning. Lumberjacks don't score
1 runner left on base.
after 2.5. Still at zeros.
batter number 7, Brennan Peterson.
Mikey, I'm going to let you talk here for just a second.
Gotcha. Peterson leading us off. Down 0-1. Fouled back. Pearson will be in an 0-2 count. Bennett in his third inning of work. Somebody who works very quickly. O2 pitch. Curveball grounded to third. Pearson legging it out. Throw is high, but in time for out number 1.
What happened there?
Peterson grounded out to third baseman. Newcomer now coming up to the plate.
Apologies, I had to jump over and help the
Number 17.
scorekeeper get that last inning incorrectly.
You are all good. Apologies from myself. It is not Caleb Newcomer. It is catcher Noah Avey who made that great throw to end last inning. Ground ball. Bennett's going to field it himself. That'll be a quick out number 2. And the Rebels in trouble of ending another inning very swiftly. Probably too swiftly for their liking.
Yeah, Rebels haven't quite caught their offensive groove yet this year. I think the team batting average coming into the night was right around 220.
Number 11, Caleb Newcomer.
I don't know if we'll have time to get this full thought in as Newcomer is up, but we were talking about scouts last inning. A lot has changed with Major League scouts at Valley League games since the Major League draft was pushed back. It used to happen like right around now or even earlier in the season, but now it's pushed back. Happens like right at the end of the Valley League season. So you don't see as many scouts in attendance because they're still scouting this year's draft.
Newcomer down 2-0. Take strike 1 inside. 2-1 count now.
That being said, I would expect that at the Valley League All-Star game, all Major League teams will have representatives there.
Definitely. Curveball misses high. Newcomer has an advantage. 3-1 count.
Definitely quite a few players that have found their way to the Major Leagues after being discovered in the Valley League.
Newcomer will take that inside. Ball 4. Rebels have some 2-out action. Yeah, it's really fun to see to still be involved in college baseball as the draft is going on, even with the new scheduled date.
From Potomac State College, number 12, Jonathan. Mello.
Certainly not outside the realm of possibility that you'll see some active Valley League players get taken in the draft. Not as common as some from last year or the year before, but
Mallow standing in. First pitch. Outside corner, strike 1.
not unusual to see in recent drafts at least one Valley Leaguer taken in the first round.
Back pick the first base. Newcomer back inside in time. Speaking of all-star breaks and potential future Rebels alums getting graduated to the big leagues, Brendan Donovan, former Rebel, having himself a nice season. I think he's going to be representing the National League in the All-Star game.
I have heard that he has a good chance of being the Cardinals representative.
Mallow fouled that pitch back. I don't know if the broadcast caught it, but that ball will not be used again. Found itself in the puddle, unfortunately.
I need to track Mr. Donovan down at some point. I have his game-used Rebel jersey.
Ground ball to short. Fielded nicely. Throw over the first. And it won't be an out. Umpire saying it was a foul ball off Mallow's foot. I think his ruling is foul ball, but Mallow is taking
staying
off.
at first base. It must have been catcher's interference.
Must have been.
That is the only thing that would make sense.
Howell pleading his case behind the
Now,
plate.
Center fielder from Colorado State University. 15, Logan.
Under the box. That's what we're going with until we find out something different.
Kelly with an 0-0 count now. 2 runners on. First pitch strike.
Didn't really hear like a loud call, but the umpire clearly had a dead ball at home plate. And I can't really think of anything else that it could have been. That one's
Grounded
foul.
left. Foul. Yeah, I knew something was going on because Mallow slowed up very quickly, about halfway to first base.
Sneak it in there real quick. Thank you for the confirmation on the pronunciation. We pass that along to the public address announcer as well.
Curveball to Kelly. It's going to miss high. Bennett wanted it real bad. Now a 1-2 count.
Finishing off the draft thoughts, some recent high picks. Rhett Lauder out of Wake Forest, the high draft pick, I think, to the Reds.
Yes.
And
Swing
then
and a miss.
Wyatt Langford to the Rangers, top 5 pick.
He was the 3rd overall pick, I believe. Maybe 4th.
That's why I went safe and said top 5. I couldn't remember, but
Coming to the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, that'll end the bottom of the 3rd. Rebels with some 2-out traffic, but they leave 2 men on base. Now we're heading into the top of the 4th.
If you get out your admission tickets, we're looking for our contestant for TNT.
Cole Evilsizer back to open up the 4th inning. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Leading off, Gonzalez, Lumberjack shortstop. Grounded out his first time up. That one misses outside, ball 1. One pitch. Lifted the shallow left. Waltzmeyer stands in his place. He'll come down with it for out number 1.
sorry that left field is a little blind on our cameras. Just don't have quite wide enough of an angle to capture that. It's also the only area of the field that is a little bit blind from the press box, as the peak of the Rebels dugout does block out the far left field corner for us.
Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Zorn. As we said, Zorn, Lumberjacks' most prolific hitter to this point. Takes outside, strike 2.
Strong candidate to be a Lumberjack representative in the Valley League All-Star game, I would say, based off of early performance.
Fouls that one back, he'll stay alive.
Typically, every team in the Valley League is guaranteed one pitcher and one batter, but can get more representatives.
Swing and a miss on that breaking ball. Evil Sizer sets Soren down for out number 2. That'll be his 3rd strikeout of the night, 4th strikeout of the night.
Right fielder number 10, Willie.
Oh no, 3rd. Sorry, I had it right. First pitch taken low, ball 1. We might be getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I like the All-Star conversation topic. That one's driven out to right. Dubkowski coming in. He's going to slide, and he will make the catch for out number 3. A little bit of a troublesome first step, but able to recover and make a nice catch. Rebels now heading into the bottom of the 3rd. Due up, Waltzmeyer, Dubkowski, and Harbert.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Leading off for the Rebels, from Penn State, Harrisburg, left fielder number 25, Lane Waltemeyer.
Waltemeyer here to lead things off for the Rebels. Trying to take Bennett out of rhythm a little bit.
Worth keeping an eye on the stamina for Bennett, as both of his appearances so far this year have been between 3 and 3 2/3 innings. So he hasn't gone too deep into any games.
One count to Blaine. Yeah, checking Evil Sizer right now. I think Evil Sizer has consistently been going 5 innings. He went 6 innings on the 4th. 1-1 pitch taken for a strike. 1-2 to Waltemeyer. But both pitchers, pitch count's relatively low so far.
Been pretty efficient for both of them.
Waltemeyer fouls that one back. We'll do it again, 1-2.
Just felt like it was almost close enough to make a grab for.
I tried. I reached for it. 1-2 pitch to Blaine. Drives that one out to center field. That will be out number 1. Catch made out in center field by Tamargo.
If you're not familiar with Rebel Park, we are positioned in a press box
Right fielder
directly
from
behind
Carolina
home
State
plate,
College, number 18, Mike Barkowski.
slightly offset towards the third base side. Rebels occupy the third base dugout, visitors the first base side.
First pitch to Mike. He grounds at the first base. Bennett over. He'll make the catch for out number 2.
Rebel. Sorry, go ahead.
So 2 batters, 2 quick outs for the Rebels. Harbert now up to try to extend this inning.
Rebel Park kind of surrounded on 2 sides by residential area, and then the outfield, beyond the outfield fence, is kind of farm fields leading out towards the mountain. Newmarket Gap that's visible when we're in our field view.
Pitch bounces low, ball 1. Yeah.
Newmarket, best known for being a Civil War town. The Battle of Newmarket occurred here, and pretty much the entire park here at Rebel Park would have been a part of that battlefield. If you happen to be a hobbyist that likes to metal detect, this is a target-rich environment.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
And if you're coming into town for Parents Weekend, the battlefield is an option for something to do for a few hours if you're interested in American history.
1-2 pitch. Takes ball 2 up.
There is a museum that accompanies the Newmarket battlefield, as well as preserved battlefield areas that you can walk through.
2-2 pitch. Inside ball 3. Harbert works it full.
The most famous part of the Battle of Newmarket was the Keydets from VMI saw action here. So VMI has close ties to Newmarket.
Good curveball gets Harbert swinging, and that will be out number 3 here in the 4th inning. And it makes quick work of the middle of the order for the Rebels. And we're headed to the top of the 5th now.
Ladies and gentlemen, of the Lumberjacks, designated hitter number 25, Edwin.
Evil Sizer back out to open the pitch, misses high, ball 1. Lumberjack D. Start things off. Strike 1.
Got ourselves a pitcher's duel.
1 pitch, at the second, and it's going to be under the glove of Mallow. I think that's going to go down as an error. Looks like it might have.
Definitely going to be an E4. Looked like Mallow kind of either was expecting a hop or just pulled his glove up a split second too early.
Third baseman number 27, Jason.
Not a soft ground ball by any means. Definitely a play Mallow. Trying to bunt, but back there on the pitch. Right here again. Count. Takes outside ball 2. Didn't square around the.
David in the chat and how he's enjoyed getting to check out some of the sights around Newmarket.
Driven out to center field. That's going to split the center fielder and right fielder. He's going to try for second base. Slide in, and he's out. Hello applies the tag. The throw came from center field, Logan Kelly. And Melendez, Lumberjacks, gets to the third base with one out, but the Rebels get an out off what was supposed to be a base hit. Trouble.
First baseman number 34, Justin Alex.
That will go down as a fellow outfield. Kelly, the center field. Pitch chopped at home plate. Foul ball. Great hit by Bello. Twittering around first base. Didn't question second for a second. Thought the foot might have gotten in there, but good tack applied by Mallow.
That was another bang bang play. I think that one might have been a little in the Rebels' favor, but there was one earlier that I thought went the other way.
Lined over at first base, foul, strike two. Definitely bang bang. And the Rebels got that one is driven deep out the left field. Chase Waltmar back to the wall, and he can only watch. It is gone. 2-run home run. Justin Allen. Lumberjack first baseman breaks up the pitcher's duel, breaks up the tie game, and breaks out of the shutout.
Thought that one might be off the wall, but clears the wall. You could tell from Waltemeyer's body language it was either off the wall or out of here. So he chased it back to the fence.
Owl.
Foul now up. Strike one. Up the low outside corner. One pitch. Curveball driven to left field. That's going to be a base hit.
Starting to get some very hard contact in this inning off of Evil Sizer.
Downside of being a little too aggressive.
Baseman
Just
number 3, Jack Shea.
looked a little middle. Curveball caught a little too much plate. Very hittable fastball. Allen did not miss. That one outside, ball one.
Could be a sign that Evil Sizer's getting a little tired. He is in his 5th inning of work. Not sure how stretched out he was in the spring.
Runner takes off. AB makes the throw. Throw is just late. Surprised it was even that close with the jump.
That was pretty much a perfect throw. Couldn't ask much for AV. Much more from AV on that one. Rebels have struggled to control the running game a little bit early this year. So good to see AV with some strong throws tonight. One caught stealing already.
Right back there. 3-0 count now. Oh, locate that one first, right?
No action in the Rebel bullpen so far.
Now. Thought he had a ball and a free base, but instead, count is not. Instead, trying to Lumberjacks. Bigger. Pitch. All fouled back. Very easy to recognize. That's a bad thing, but not a break on that one. Up, ball four. Tried to parlay that high fastball with his big breaking. Take there for Stead.
Going to prompt a visit from pitching coach Morgan Saylor, and starting to see some stirring down in the bullpen. Nobody throwing just yet, but definitely some movement.
The hard hits are one thing. Cole starts to walk batters. Definitely not a good. The active chats and cheering for Justin Allen. I will allow it. The pretty impressive home run. Rebels' favor.
Always got to tip your cap. We recognize that usually about half our audience is going to be parents and family and supporters for the opposing team. So definitely welcome into all the Jacks fans out there, or individual players fans. Do our best to not get too one-sided, but obviously we do come at it from a New Market slant.
That one misses outside, ball one.
We obviously don't have quite as much insight into the players and such for the Lumberjacks, but like to share what we can.
Curveball locates it well for a strike.
Got one Lumberjack anecdote, which was kind of funny. Also related to our All-Star game talk.
Oh. Sizer delivers, grounded to third. Johnson, it's going to scoop by his glove. And the Lumberjacks now have the bases full. That one took a weird hop at the end, but I do believe that one is also going to count as an error.
Yep, gotta mark that one down as an error. Worth noting that Evil Sizer should be out of this inning by now. Two errors that would have directly resulted in outs. So my Lumberjacks anecdote is going way back. I couldn't tell you the exact year.
Pitch grounded right in front of Evil Sizer. He's going to field it and try to get the throw up first, but it's high. And the Lumberjacks are going to keep rounding the bases. Dubkowski fields it in right. And that play will score 2 runs. As that was a throwing error by Evil Sizer. Tough play for him. He really had to come up, charge it hard, and make a hard throw.
I think that one's going to be a single and an error.
Saying he would have beat it out.
Looks like he was there to me.
I was watching home play. I thought with 1 out, Cole might try to flip it at home to get the force. Fouled. Strike 1.
For our JMU fans in the house, which there probably are a couple of you, and our interns and Mikey are all JMU-related folks, that could have been a chance for an Odyssey Alexander-style play at home.
That one's dropped in the center field for another base hit. It'll plate one more run. Lumberjacks really making this inning count. 5 runs so far.
Odyssey famously, JMU softball player, famously had a diving play on a ball very similar to that, where she just dove at the runner coming in and tagged them out in the College World Series against Oklahoma State.
I remember that.
JMU made a run to the Final Four.
That was the glory days of JMU softball.
Knocked off Oklahoma in the first first game and then beat Oklahoma State in the second game before losing 2 in a row to eventual national champion Oklahoma, but put up a fight in both games.
Exactly. And if you know softball, you know how much of a juggernaut Oklahoma is.
That started, four consecutive national championships for Oklahoma started with that year.
Sponsors of Newmarket Rebel Baseball for all your home store needs, furniture, flooring, and more. Home Decor, the home store.
So that will do it for Colt Evilsizer today, as he had a great start coming into the 5th inning, but then the Lumberjacks chased him out with 5 runs.
I think this is going to be Porter.
Number 16, that is Colin Porter from Pittsburgh, Bradford.
Got the Pitt Bradford connection, pitcher to catcher here.
On the mound from the University of Pittsburgh, Dean Colin Porter.
So now that we have a little break, I'll give you the Lumberjacks story. The All-Star game in Front Royal, prior to the renovations, home run derby. 2 Covington players were in the home run derby, and they announced the entire game, or the entire derby, that Kevin Butler was the one that was winning. Well, it turns out it was not Kevin Butler. It was future Major Leaguer Jason Kipnis, and
Wow.
they had the 2 players switched. So Kipnis did win the home run derby, but was never actually announced as the winner. Teammate Kevin Butler was announced as the winner, even though it had been Kipnis the whole time. Wow. Kipnis famously with the Indians for quite a while, or now the Guardians, but they were the Indians when he was there. And then he may have played some other places. I think he was with the Cubs
He
briefly.
was with the Cubs, yeah.
But definitely had a solid major league career for a few years there.
I think he's okay sacrificing that Valley League home run derby for his MLB career. He was always a wonderful clubhouse guy wherever he was.
He did get the trophy. It was actually him out there. They were just announcing the wrong name the whole time. At the time, the president and general manager of the Rebels was Bruce Alger. His wife, Lynn Alger's family was Jason's host family, I believe, in Covington. And there was a couple times where Rebels ran into Kipnis in the major leagues, and there was some banter back and forth between the families, like, oh, my boy robbed your boy of a hit kind of thing. But it's a small world out there.
Mendez takes that one, strike 1. Porter in to try and stop the bleeding for the Rebels. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Double play would be a best case scenario. Low. That's going to advance the runner on first base, but Avey does a good job keeping it in proximity and keeping that Lumberjack runner on third. Staying put.
A wild pitch on Porter. Bounced that one in there.
Zorn was able to get over to second base. Takes away the double play. One pitch. Outside, ball 2. That one fouled straight back. Evens the count 2-2. Covington also attempting to bat around this inning.
Hunter Hinkle.
2-2 pitch from Porter. That one's driven to left field, high and out of play. Foul ball.
Covington threatening to bat around and ruin scorebooks across the nation. Or at least wherever our 66 viewers are tuning in.
Across the valley.
I bet we have a nationwide audience. We know we have somebody from Florida in the chat.
That one gets by Avey. The Lumberjacks are going to score another run as Gonzalez comes in to score. Dorn will move over to third base, still with one out, and the count is now full to Mendez. Where to come set the pitch. Lifted out to shallow left field. Waltzmeyer coming in. He'll make the catch, and they're going to test him. No, they won't. Runner stays at third base. 2 outs now.
And that does mean our scorebooks going into the next column.
Designated hitter,
Yep,
Edward
needed a
Melendez.
double play there. Melendez now up for the Lumberjacks. First pitch, grounds it foul to the left. Porter now pitching from the stretch. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch to Melendez. Takes up, ball 1.
Got Florida and Pennsylvania.
Ground ball to Johnson, goes to a knee, fields it, throws across the diamond for out number 3, and the Rebels finally get out of this damaging 5th inning. Now having to come back from a 6-0 deficit. We'll see you in the bottom of the 5th.
6 runs, 4 hits, 3.
First pitch to Johnson, strike 1. Bennett out to start the 5th inning. Looking for a little more luck than Cole Evilsizer faced in the top half. Second pitch to Johnson, low, ball 1. Bennett's been working very quickly, but it has not taken away from his efficiency.
He did sit for a long period in between his turn on that could affect him.
Johnson swing and a miss, strike 2. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Does not appear that the long break affected Bennett.
Fortunately not.
Bring up
Good
the
breaking ball there to get the
designated
K.
Christian University. For 7, Brennan Peterson.
Bennett's had some base runners via walks and a catcher's interference. First pitch, curveball misses high. Peterson, ball one.
Got somebody else from Texas chiming in, so we're getting closer
Wow.
to nationwide. We got the East Coast covered, and we made it about halfway across the country.
1-0 pitch. Curveball, strike one to Peterson.
No, in past years, we've even had some people tuning in from overseas. Purcellville, kind of famous for having some Japanese players.
That one fouled right side. We'll make the count 1-2. Pitch from Bennett, misses low, ball two, and we're even.
At some point, when I have more time on my hands, I want to do a map and put pins where we get everybody listening from and kind of show it on the screen.
That would be great. Play a game of who's traveled the longest. Peterson takes that curveball. Check on the umpire first. He says he did check his swing. Loads up the count 3-2.
I think I attended a wedding one time where they dismissed people to eat in order of who had traveled the farthest to get there. So if you came the farthest, you got to eat first.
That's cool. I like that.
After the bride and groom, of course.
Of course. And that one will miss low. Peterson gets on for a walk. Brennan Peterson, infield utility player for the Rebels, starting in his 7th game. That's Jack Hobson, gets another day off. Davey now up for the Rebels. Chops that one at his feet. Foul ball. Davey, not great stats to start the year at the plate, but showing off his defensive skills as a catcher. A 1 pitch, fouled again at the feet. Davey now 0-2 hole. And we really do have to be partial here. A lot of Covington fans. 0-2 pitch. That one's ground through the hole, and that will take away the no-hitter for Bennett. Noah Avey takes that one the other way for a single. And I was bringing up our partiality as broadcasters because I was playing a resistance game, trying not to mention the no-hitter that Gavin Bennett had going. Usually you wait till after 5 frames to mention a no-hitter. Will be a quick chat for Covington. As even with that 1 hit allowed, Gavin Bennett has been great today. Caleb Newcomer now up for the Rebels. Two runners on, 1 out. First pitch, fouled back, strike one.
Do not see many no-hitters in the Valley because you don't see pitchers allowed to throw enough pitches to throw one. I think in my time following the league, I can remember one.
Curveball fouled back again. Strike two, Newcomer now down 0-2.
Excluding combined no-hitters, which statistically do not count as a no-hitter. Or at least by Major League Baseball, they're not recognized as.
Rightfully so. Still impressive, but not the same. 0-2 curveball gets Newcomer looking. Strike three, and that is out number 2. Yeah, I was worried that mound visit after AB hit, they were going to pull Gavin Bennett. As you mentioned, going longer in this game than he has all summer. But when a guy's performing this well, you want to see him stay in and finish his job. Mallow pops that one foul behind home plate. Strike one.
From a Rebels perspective, it would be a nice time for Mallow to tap into some extra base power, maybe hook one into the right field corner.
And it's going to throw over second base to check on the runner.
Calls for a balk, but I think he was okay. It's always weird with those throws to second or step off towards second.
Yeah, and the new disengagement rules, everything kind of makes things more complex. High breaking ball. Misses ball one. Bennett still looking at the runner at second base. Short lead. 1-1 pitch. Curveball misses outside, ball two.
Do see some action in the Lumberjacks bullpen down the right field line.
Got to be just in case the Rebels have some more two-out magic. Another curveball misses outside. Mallow now in a 3-1 count.
20-something, I think. 28, maybe? Did you look? Seeing if we had eyes on the pitcher down there. I'm guessing 28 or 29, but 29. I was close. Couldn't quite catch those numbers from 400 feet away. But I was in the ballpark at least.
That one's lined to left. Gets by the shortstop. Coach Shepard puts up the stop sign at third, and the Rebels will have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Great job by Mallow to poke that one the other way for a base hit.
Coach Shepard in the third base box, usually very aggressive, but that one was so shallow, he really couldn't send Peterson around third there.
Zorn was playing shallow, as you mentioned, and looks like he had a good arm. First pitch to Kelly, swing and a miss, strike one.
Kelly 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Kelly going barehanded, ditching the BGs, the batting gloves. 0-1 pitch. Big curveball for a swing and a miss. Strike two. Now in an 0-2 hole.
Rebels have had the bases loaded quite a few times this year. Seems like they kind of get stuck there. Maybe this is their chance to break through.
0-2 pitch. Looked pretty good, but just missed. 1-2 count now. Yeah, all around up and down the lineup. Usually putting together pretty good at bats. A lot of walks, but always seeking that one big clutch base hit. 1-2 pitch, grounded left side. And it's going to be booted over at third base, and everybody's going to be safe.
Tough play. The ball definitely hopped up on him.
Those are those tough playing conditions we mentioned to start the game, especially in the infield, and that might do it for Bennett, unfortunately.
Will be an error. Tough playing infield with the choppy infield, but it was kind of right at him. Bounced up into his chest, but he wasn't able to corral it. I'll put it down as an error, but a tough error.
Right. And that will do it for Gavin Bennett today. 4.2 innings pitch, zero earned runs, as that last one was an unearned run, and didn't allow a hit until the 2 signals this inning.
Albany State University. Number 29, Chase Ledger.
So Bennett very efficient today, putting Covington in a good position to come away with the win.
You have your admission ticket. We're going to do another giveaway for tonight. This
Be
will be for a Rebels
An
t-shirt.
unearned run
If your admission ticket number is 0
for the Rebels, and any runs that follow will be unearned.
66
So Bennett will get out of this one without allowing an earned run, regardless of what happens.
You have one of Rebels t-shirts.
Also, will not be eligible for the win because he did not get through the 5th inning.
Which is always hard to stomach, especially in the Valley League or in summer seasons, because like you said, starting pitchers are rarely going 5 innings.
About 813. Mine says 813. So what? Just whoever comes, get one.
I didn't go back and check, but I believe all but one of the Lumberjacks runs are also unearned. So air is definitely playing a major role in this one so far. Blaine Waltemeyer is going to have a chance to do some damage here.
0 for 2 so far today. But like we said last night, got on base a lot, got a nice base hit, looked very comfortable at the plate.
For Penn State, Harrisburg. For 25, Blaine Waltemeyer.
Blaine is very much a gamer from what I've observed of him. He's going to find a way to help you out. Even when he's not hitting, he's going to make a defensive play or do something. He's always hustling, always willing to do what needs to be done to win a baseball game.
First pitch, swing and a miss, strike one. Waltemeyer, big swing there, looking to do some of that damage we talked about.
As was chipped in from elsewhere in the press box. Waltemeyer even hops in and pitches a little bit when needed to fill some innings.
Yeah, he's been darn good at it so far this summer. Leads the Rebels in ERA. That one fell back. We'll make it 0-2. Yeah, the 2 ERA leaders for the Rebels, or 3 ERA leaders, Waltemeyer and Harbert, also a two-way player, along with Luke McGrath, who we saw pitch last night. 0-2 pitch to Waltemeyer, swing and a miss, strike 3. Covington gets out of the jam, only allowing 1 run. And the Rebels still looking up at a 6-1 deficit as we go into the top of the 6th.
1 round, 2 hits, 1 error. Oh,
Colin Porter back out on the mound for the Rebels. First pitch, chopped at home plate for a foul ball. That was a weird foul ball. I think Bello thought he might get hit by his own foul ball there. Covington coach to give him some quick words of encouragement.
One of the things I love about baseball is you can watch 1,000 games, and in the 1,001st game, you still might see something you've never seen before.
Exactly.
Whether it's just a weird kick or carom or something truly bizarre. But baseball finds a way to have some firsts or just weird occurrences.
0-1 pitch, misses outside, ball one.
I don't know how many Valley League games I've seen, but enough to have seen quite a few different oddities.
Well, there's one in itself. That was a front door breaking ball that Bello, by the looks of it, was going to hit him, but somehow got his bat for a foul ball. Now it's a 1-2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike three.
Nice outside fastball.
Porter making the most of a lucky second chance situation.
Baseman number 34, Justin Allen.
That was a bit of an odd at bat for sure.
Yeah, very odd. Allen now coming up. Quick reminder, I'm sure our Covington fans didn't forget, but Justin Allen took Cole Evilsizer deep his last time up. As he looks at that one, strike one. That one is swung on, lifted to left. Gonna drive Waltzmeyer back to make the play. Out number one. Thought Allen got into another one there. Just missed it, however.
That one didn't quite have the sound to it, but it was close. You want that nice crisp
Catcher number 19,
crack.
Marvin Powell.
The deadest giveaway, I think.
That one misses up, ball one. Well, he pulled it straight to left field. I got to work on it. It's hard to tell when guys are really pulling the ball near the pulls, as that one is swung on a miss, strike one. Here it's not that shallow, but at some parks, at some road parks in the Valley League, they have some very favorable short porches. Front door breaker just misses.
Rebel Park, you definitely, the left field, want to pull it directly down the line as it quickly bows out the left center power alley.
That one misses outside.
Goes from 322 down the line and about 100 feet over to right center, all the way out to the 380s. The sign out there says 381, but I know that is not the deepest part.
Swing and a miss there. Porter makes the count full. 3-2, 2 outs.
I think just to the right of the 381 sign, it pushes 390.
That one misses outside. 2-out walk. I believe Justin Allen's home run in the 5th inning was out to that 380 mark in left center.
Probably
A little left of it?
it's just to the left of the light pole, over right about the Endless Cavern sign, I believe. So probably 360 or so I would put on his. Not a cheapie by any means.
No, sir. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
If you're stat casting that one, it's probably a home run in all 12 Valley League parks.
That pitch is outside, going to get by Avey. Howell advances to second base.
Cubs fan, and they're famous for getting some home runs that are a 1 out of 30. With it's the only park it would have been a home run in. just in certain little quirks at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, with the netting, but especially with that Chicago wind, I bet.
Definitely plays extremely different based on wind blowing in or out.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Seems to, in recent years, be blowing in a lot more than it used to.
Order comes set. The 1-2 delivery. This is low.
The Valley definitely home to a few parks that are a little on the smaller side. Not quite as bad as it used to be when Luray was in the league and before the Nets were added in Front Royal. Used to be outrageous home run totals in Front Royal with, I think it was like 340 to center field.
That one fouled back. Rebels faced the River Bandits last night, and a lot of their hitters had a lot of home run totals for this early in the summer season. They have an impressive lineup nonetheless, but their home runs, a lot of them came at their home ballpark. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Porter gets out of it. Now will take us into the top of the 7th. Or no, sorry, the bottom of the 6th.
Leading off for the Rebels from Enterprise City College. Number 18, Mike Dubkowski.
Mike Dubkowski here to lead things off for the Rebels. Facing Chase Ledger back out for Covington. That one misses outside, ball 1.
Dobkowski still looking for his first home run of the year. Power hitter. And showed some power last year for the Rebels.
In a favorable 2-0 count now. That one misses though, outside, another ball. They seem to keep pitching Dubkowski outside. Know he's got good pull side power. 3-0 pitch. Drills it to right, and that'll be a ground ball single to right field. And he's going to take off the second base as the throw in was to nobody.
That's going to be a throwing error on the right fielder, probably. Got to account for the advancement somehow.
Exactly.
Number 19.
And that is not
Chris.
Willie Mendez out in right field for Covington, as we had a substitution an inning or two ago. Here's Harbert. Looks at that one, strike one. So Dubkowski with a single on a 3-0 pitch, and then took advantage of some lazy defense, get in scoring position. Oh, one pitch from Ledger. Fouled right side. Will make the count 0-2.
You're sitting on the Rebel side, just getting anybody on base when you're down by 5. You need base runners to score runs.
Next man up type of mentality. Sometimes refers to injuries and filling roles, but here it's just moving the line. Breaking ball takes ball one.
Definitely can't be as comfortable with a 5-run lead or as down with a 5-run deficit in the Valley as, say, the major leagues. You never know how many pitchers are available for the visiting team, when you might get to somebody who having a rougher summer than somebody else.
Swing and a miss from Chris Harbert there. Goes down swinging for out number 1. Bring up Jack
Oklahoma
Johnson.
City University. Third baseman number 8, Jack Johnson.
Johnson hitless so far today. Takes that first pitch low. Ball 1. Johnson hitless, as I said, but followed up by Peterson, Avian, newcomer, who have each reached base once. One 0 pitch. Called strike 1.
Bit of a delayed called strike, I would say.
A little bit up in the zone. Johnson didn't seem to have any discrepancies with it. 1-1 pitch. Takes outside. Ball 2.
Pretty good strike zone tonight, I would say. I haven't really had an issue with any calls that I can recall. Never know what you're going to get with umpiring. Sometimes they're a little more inconsistent than others.
2-1 pitch. It's there for strike 2. Makes it 2-2. Well executed on the low and outside corner.
Just like all of us, sometimes an umpire's having a good day or a bad day. As far as balls and strikes.
2-2 pitch. Johnson with a good take on that breaking ball to fill it up to 3-2.
Dobkowski dancing around out there at second like he was thinking about going to third. He was probably just messing around with the catcher, but never know.
I was about to say Martin Howell, Covington's catcher, has been keeping a close eye on him. 3-2 pitch, misses low. Jack Johnson on with a base on balls. And from the perspective of the Lumberjacks, if you're up with a 5-run lead, don't want to give away free bases like that.
I'll bring up designated hitter from Abilene Christian University. 7, Red. 7.
Brings up Brennan Peterson with 1 out, 2 runners on base. Luckily for Covington, double play is still in play.
Peterson walked in the last inning.
Pitch almost hits him. Instead, it's ball 1.
Dobkowski on second has good speed. I don't think he's a threat necessarily to steal, but once he's up to speed, he's pretty fast for a bigger guy.
1-0 pitch, fouled right side, strike 1. Yeah, like you said, Probably not as much of a threat to steal, but on second base, I think he's a big threat to score on a single.
Yeah, it seems like maybe it takes him a step or two to get up to speed, but once he's up to speed, he's moving.
1-1 pitch. Misses inside again. Ball 2.
Quick acceleration is important for base stealers. I have not seen that out of Dubkowski. Not saying he doesn't have it in him, but he's got the straight line speed once he's up to speed, or maybe at the high top speed, but it just takes him a minute to get there.
That one's driven to right field. Will be brought in for out number 2. No runner is able to advance, and Chase Ledger has a second out here in the 6th inning.
Off the bat, the right fielder looked like he thought it was going to be over his head, but did not carry.
The catcher from University of Pittsburgh, number 17, Noah.
A good swing by Peterson to drive it to right field, but just low under it. Not the best contact. AB, who broke up the no-hitter, up now. Fouls back, strike 1.
Probably worth noting, we talked a lot about the dimensions, but the ball does not tend to carry super well in this park either, which can play a big role in making a park play big or small.
Oh, 1 pitch to AB. Another one fouled back, strike 2.
Particularly to like center field, not that deep, right around 370. But don't see a lot of home runs hit to center field.
Oh, 2 pitch from Ledger. Outside. Good take by AB. It'll be a ball. Yeah, we've talked about the Rebels lineup being a little underwhelming to start the season, especially in the power compartment. But hard to compare their power numbers to other teams because from either side, when we play home games here, not a ton of home runs. That one's pop over to third base. And that'll be out number 3. Rebels threaten, but come up with no runs. Lumberjacks still lead 6-1 heading into the 7th inning.
The bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1.
Colin Porter back out for some Rebels action on the mound. First pitch misses, ball one.
Now batting center fielder number 13, Connor from Argos.
It'll be Covington's leadoff hitter to greet him. Margo 0 for 3 so far tonight. As he lifts that one to left field, Waltermeyer chasing, and it's going to land fair. Margo's in with a stand-up double to start the 7th inning.
Definitely a case of hitting it in the right spot more so than of hitting it super hard.
Hit it where they're not, and hit it where it's hard for us broadcasters to see it. As we've mentioned, that was to left field, kind of in a
Number 4, Jimmy.
blind spot for us. Gonzalez going to look to keep it going for the Lumberjacks. Inside, pops out of the glove of Avey. And now Covington has their 7th run 90 feet away. Our broadcaster, Hannah, is in the chat saying she misses us. 1-0 pitch, inside misses.
I was debating whether to give her a hard time or a friendly hello. I was very nice earlier, Hannah, if you didn't tune in. Told them you're taking the night off to rest.
He was very nice.
But apparently you couldn't stay away. Go to bed.
Strike one for Porter. Makes the count 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 count now to Gonzalez.
It's always dangerous to take a night off because if a hot streak starts while you're gone, you might not be welcomed back.
2-2 pitch misses high. Fills up the count full.
Definitely remember a few times where somebody left the press box for an inning or something and we scored a bunch of runs and then locked the door.
That one's lifted high. Avey back behind the plate trying to track it. It'll be in the bleachers for a foul ball, and it'll send our Rebel fandom running. More of the younger crowd, I would say.
That one almost took out Miss K, our longest tenured host mom. She might be up to around 20 years of hosting players.
That baseball would have made a lot of enemies if it hit her.
Yeah, can't hit Miss K.
3-2 pitch. That one again lifted in the same spot. Fans, watch out. But Avey makes the catch. It stayed in play just next to the netting. Avey having to put himself in one of the more awkward positions you'll see a player.
Right up against the net. I thought it was going to graze the net on the way down, honestly.
Now, you're not allowed to have the net assist you in a catch, but Avey caught that one cleanly for out number one.
Lumberjacks' third base coach was probably only 40 feet away from that play and didn't say a word, so it must have been a clean catch.
Exactly.
Nice play by Avey. Not an easy one by any means.
That's going to test Avey again. Another pop
That one
fly.
had a chance of coming back here.
And he can't make that play. Ball was coming back into play. Avey had a shot at another one.
Those are tough. If you've never tried to catch a pop fly that's coming straight down, not easy.
Especially as a catcher having to hop out of that squat quickly and find it.
Hard to practice, too.
Grounded to second base. Mallow fields it. He'll take the sure out. Aiden Zorn with a productive ground ball to bring in the 7th run for Covington. It will be the second out of the inning. Base is now empty for Mendez.
Right fielder number 2, ready. Mondo.
Even though that is going to go down as an earned run for Porter, great job in relief so far here. Came in, inherited a jam. Got out of it relatively well. Been given some decent length here in the middle of the game for the Rebels pitching staff. That one's popped back foul.
I think Hannah's going to regret it when she misses the 7-run bottom of the ninth that's capped off by a Mike Dobkowski walk-off grand slam. But decisions we all make, right?
She better be watching if that happens. Pitch inside. Just missed. Ball 2.
That happens, I'm buying a lottery ticket on my way home.
Oh.
I've never played the lottery, at least other than maybe a scratch off that was gifted to me. My stocking or something.
Ground ball finds the hole. Will be a 2-out hit for Covington. Ball placed directly in between Mallow and Harbert. Harbert broke for first base.
Designated hitter number 25, Edwin.
Linda's now up for Covington. Trying to keep the 2-out rally going and extend this lead even farther. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Porter 1 strike away from getting out of the sim. Crowd has hung in there and maybe even kind of grown as the night went on.
That one missed outside. Ball 1.
See some kids in like Little League jerseys. I wonder if there was an all-star game today that pulled some of Newmarket's fans.
Swing and a miss. Porter strikes out Melendez to end the inning. Headed to the bottom of the 7th. The Rebels looking to climb back from a 7-1 deficit.
One runner left on base. It's the middle of the 7th. Leading on the Rebels, shortstop, number 11, Newcomer.
Caleb Newcomer up to open things for the Rebels.
The new pitcher for the Lumberjacks.
Sebastian Griffith.
Always liked the name Sebastian.
Me too.
My son narrowly dodged being Sebastian, I would say. At least as a middle name.
First pitch misses up, ball one. I like Sebastian because you can go by Seabass. It's a cool nickname, I think. Another ball up.
If there's any Overwatch fans out of there, Bastion.
Nerf Bastion. 2-0 count the Newcomer. Fouled off. Makes it 2-1.
Don't expect that our clientele would be Overwatch, but you never know. Not the demographic that I would imagine we're reaching.
Getting a notification. Nats are trying to make a little bit of a comeback. Maybe the Rebels can take a page out of their book. Nats are down 10-3 now against the Rockies, as opposed to 10-1.
If you're not geographically familiar with Newmarket, it's only about 2 hours to get in the Nats Park from here. You know, most players try to make it in for a game on an off day when they have a chance.
Two-one pitch to Newcomer. We'll take that one up. Now 3-1 advantage count. And not a great time to see the Nats, though, right now. In the midst of a 9-game losing streak. About to make it 10.
I guess that depends if you're pulling for the Nats.
That one chopped to third base. Going to be a tough play. Newcomer's going to leg it out. I think it'll be an infield base hit.
Really no chance for
Bella,
Bella,
over there.
the third baseman. That was basically the equivalent of a perfectly placed bunt.
Jonathan Memo.
Knew he had to be quick. Tried to come up with the bare hand play. But to no avail. Yeah, the Nats in a 9-game losing streak, but I think losses to the Rockies count as 2. So it's about to be a 12-game losing streak, I think. Just because the Rockies are so bad, of course.
See if Mallow tries a bunt into that same spot.
This is up, ball one.
He's shown a propensity to bunting.
And Bello, Covington third baseman, playing very, very far back. And he is going to push it that way. And it's going to stay fair. Looked like it might roll foul. Ended up being perfect, right to the right of the line.
That definitely looked like it was going to go foul to me, but it must have, the grade of the ground, or it hit a pebble or something that just kept it right on the line and fair. And I must say, patting myself on the back, successfully predicted that.
Great call. We saw Mallow square up. The first pitch he saw as the leadoff in her first inning, but hadn't seen it since then.
Could be a little bit of the unfamiliarity since you don't see Covington except for 2 times over the 42 games. I bet by the end of the year, interdivisional games, they'll be playing Mallow in, taking away that bunt. But third baseman Bello was pretty far back.
Absolutely well directed by Mallow to push that one over to third base.
Our fielder, number 15, Logan.
Logan Kelly 0 for 3 so far tonight. Looking to keep this little healthy start to the inning going. And he'll try to lay one down, pulls back as that one almost clocked him in the head, but both Rebel runners will advance.
That was an interesting one. It ricocheted off the backstop and then off of home plate umpire Steve Williams. Otherwise, the catcher may have had a chance to make a play. Maybe not, but it certainly bounced right back to him. But thankfully for the Rebels, Steve Williams was right in the way of that ricochet.
Now Kelly did his job without really having to do his job. Move the runners over. Second and third now, nobody out. This is outside, ball 2. Two-0 delivery. Chopped at the feet. Strike 1.
Have some action down in the Rebel bullpen.
Colin Porter has given the Rebels some very much needed innings here in the middle part of the game.
I expect we will get a change to whoever's down there. Somebody else is standing in front of him, I can't make out the number.
Kelly swings and misses. That'll even the count 2-2. Sebastian Griffith, 6.2 innings so far this summer, 2.7 ERA.
This is a right-handed pitcher.
This is up. That'll fill up the count, 3-2. Only one walk from Griffith on the summer so far. Kelly looking to change that. Instead, he'll go down looking. Well executed low pitch for strike 3 against Kelly. That is out number 1.
Certainly in the lower part of the zone, but not a bad pitch.
Over on the left fielder from Penn State, Harrisburg. Number 25, Lane Walkemeyer.
Waltemeyer coming to the plate now. 0 for 3 so far today, looking for productive plate appearance with 2 runners in scoring position. He'll foul that one off to the left.
I think it's Andrew Lynch warming in the bullpen.
Oh, 1 count now. Pitch coming from Griffith. Another foul to the left side.
Really need Waltemeyer to put the ball in play here. Struck out with the bases loaded in his last at bat. Has a chance here to knock it around, even with a ground ball or a sac fly.
Exactly. Never want to go down swinging with a runner 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. But you'll get him swinging on a breaking ball. Waltemeyer goes down for the second out.
Over on the right fielder from Enterprise State Junior College. 18, Mike Tarkowski.
Waltemeyer's swing still looks good. It just looks like a little bit of a timing problem. First 2 pitches were foul balls. I think those were pitches when he's going right, he's putting in play for base hits. Here's Tarkowski now. Takes strike 1 at the knees.
Probably the Rebels' hottest hitter. He's who you want up when you need a hit. He singled in the 6th.
Chopped to second base. And that will do it for the Rebels here in the 7th inning. First 2 batters reached on base. That was all the action they saw.
Starting the bottom of the 7th inning, no runs.
Heading now into the top of the 8th.
2 runners left on base.
Bello to lead things off for the Lumberjacks here in the top of the 8th. First pitch misses low, ball 1. Andrew Lynch in for the Rebels, replacing Colin Porter. 1-0. Misses high, ball 2.
Lynch, a repeat Rebel from a couple years ago.
Trying to keep the lead where it is. That one's in there, strike 1. Bello 1 for 3 so far today. He'll take that one high. Here's count now, 3-1.
Seems like Lynch is kind of struggling to get on top of his pitches. Everything's been up here. He is kind of an over-the-top delivery.
That one's driven to left field. Bello will lead this inning off with a hard base hit.
First baseman number 34.
That'll bring up Justin Allen. Went deep 2 at-bats ago. Takes that curveball inside, ball 1.
Andy. Max, broadcast debut. Cameras. I'm losing it.
Justin Allen has been one of the more productive hitters for Covington. You mentioned Aiden Zorn, but Allen batting .360 himself.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
That one misses, and that'll make it 3-0. Sorry for the little bit of silence, moving some things around, and welcoming new broadcaster, Max.
How's it going, everybody?
Fellow JMU Duke.
A little bit of first-hand experience on the baseball field today as Covington were able to get on base for the first.
Yeah, sorry, we're a little...
Yeah, I'm still figuring things out from as I came up here. I just got up here.
Yeah, situation. Max got thrown in the fire as Andrea's got a lot going on. Decided to take a little bit of a hiatus. I mean, you've got my laptop in front of you. You've got...
Yeah, I'm taking good looks. I'm getting it all down right now as I can. You know what I'm saying? Usually, when it comes to broadcasting, you get some time to figure out about what you're going to do, like a little bit of research on the players. Unfortunately, I haven't made it that far myself with today as I'm just throwing up here. But hey, got to start somewhere. Am I right? Am I right, guys?
Exactly. Right, the lack of prep time really hurts in this industry.
A little bit, but I'm still going to try my best to get you guys well informed and entertained today. Now, as I have all the stats in front of me as I'm trying to take it all in.
Well, we've mainly got, I think, Covington viewers to keep entertained. If you're a Rebel viewer and you've stuck this one out, hopefully you'll see some late inning heroics. That one misses, ball 1.
Quite amount on the pitching changes today. Well, assuming weather had to play a big part of it, as the mound's still not looking the prettiest, I would say.
Definitely been a storyline so far, the field conditions. 1-0 pitch, misses low, and now we'll get away from AV. Both runners will advance. Andrew Lynch having some control problems. He's only walked, I believe, 3 hitters so far this summer. Struggling to find the zone here.
Yeah, the topic of today must be also wild pitches. The amount of times I've seen base has been moving without a hit today.
Exactly. AB's been good behind the plate defensively, but lack of control from pitchers has led to a lot of wild pitches. Curveball swung on and fouled back. Strike one.
As it's a 2-1 count, it is Justin Allen up to bat right now. The first baseman from Hillsborough Community College.
That went inside. Umpire's going to say he went. Interesting with no appeal there.
Yeah, not a single complaint from him.
2-2 count. And sorry, Max, Allen is on second base. This is catcher Howell for Covington. 2-2 pitch. That's in there. Strike three.
See, that's one of those moments where I wish I brought my glasses so I can actually get the numbers right. Maybe it's a good day to use my binoculars.
Second base, number 3, Jack.
We do have some binoculars up here.
But they're currently,
They're-
I'll take them for in use.
They're more for trying to locate numbers on jerseys.
I think that's exactly what I need right now.
That's true, yeah.
Jack Steed up to bat, the second baseman.
Yeah, Lynch continuing to struggle with command. One 0 pitch. This is low, ball two. Dead 0 for 2 today with a walk in the 5th inning. That one's in there, strike one.
If you have been following us on Twitter, you can probably notice about the lack of updates on today's Twitter. Well, there wasn't really much to go off of from the first few innings, trying to keep just at least the stats track. But everything just started coming in just right at the top of the 5th with 6 runs as the ball is popped high and caught for the second out of the inning.
What a play by Avian. He'll chase the runner back. Not the first time we've seen Avy make a tough play defensively.
Avy actually caught one right in front of me. I thought it was about to hit me dead in the face. All the kids were trying to surround and try to get the
You were there right behind the net?
right behind the net, and then he just dives in front. As a matter of fact, he told me before the game, if you can see from the stream, it was puddles on that left side, and he told us that he will not be diving on that towards that direction towards the net because of how bad the field was. Only for him to make that heroic play earlier today.
Competitiveness got to him. But yeah, still, even now in the 8th inning, very muddy there. That one's grounded to second. Fielded by Mallow, and that will be an out number 3. Lead stays at 7-1. Andrew Lynch gets out of the jam, and we are headed to the bottom of the 8th.
1 hit, no errors. Chris Harper.
Harbert here to start things off for the Rebels in the 8th inning. I believe it's the same pitcher on the mound for Covington.
Harbert only playing one game so far this season with only one hit. Hoping to see more time from him.
We talked about earlier, he's been filling in on the mound a couple innings. Two-way player, just like Waltmeyer. Done pretty well there.
I feel like I've seen that a lot. A lot of those field players going in to play pitcher for the Rebels.
We've kind of seen that from multiple teams, not just the Rebels. Pretty cool to see how versatile these college players are.
Speaking of which, how did Otani do?
Not too well, I don't think.
Yeah, I saw that. What's it called? He was supposed to be pitching yesterday, right?
Yeah, we mentioned it on the broadcast after our lengthy Devers conversation.
Oh yeah.
But Otani, he had a short leash on him. I think he only went one inning. Velocity was there, but I think got hit around a little bit.
That makes sense. When
1-2, fouled back from Harbert, off the pull. He'll stay alive.
Excellent accuracy.
Yeah, right back to the pitcher. One-two pitch here to Chris. Curveball gets him swinging and missing. Another strikeout, and that is out number 1. Rebels' hopes dwindling down. 5 outs left for them to make something of this comeback.
Jack Johnson.
First pitch misses up, ball 1. Max, if you want to switch tabs whenever you get the chance to YouTube, we can check the chat, see if there's anything in there.
Oh, there is.
I don't think there's any new things, but if you guys want to ask Max any questions, maybe ask us, either of us, any JMU questions.
Oh, I can answer anything about JMU. Oh, that's a very good question. I think it stands for James Madison University. Oh, joke's on you.
That one,
Oh.
left field. There's no call being made by the umpires. It looked fair. Johnson's at second base. I'm still waiting for a call from the field umpire. I think we're going to play like it's a double.
Great hit, and I don't know if you guys heard, but man, Jared says JMU stands for Just Missed UVA, and I just want to say, just the joke says I never applied just because. Why would I go to somewhere a little more discount? You know what I'm saying? JMU is the emphasis on the University of Virginia, in case you don't know. We beat them in football and basketball, so I think we are the true University of Virginia.
I think our Rebel viewers will be happy to hear that. We've got some JMU players on the team. First pitch misses up. Ball 1 to Peterson.
My teammate's younger brother actually hit his first run for JMU's varsity team. If you guys know the last name Langley, you'll know who.
Kyle Langley.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That one misses inside. Ball 2. Kyle Langley, third baseman, I believe, for the Dukes over at JMU.
To a count. Called strike.
Catcher no AV on deck. Peterson trying to follow up Johnson's double with something similar. He'll foul that one back. Strike 2.
Reading some of y'all's comments. Definitely see the familial proud.
2-2 count.
Especially
Peterson
you,
spoils that one.
Wilfred Mendez.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Covington fans from all over.
And we see some from Texas. I see you. Great support you guys are having for the Valley Baseball League. We appreciate it from you guys.
The first time we're going to face the Lumberjacks, first and last time, unfortunately. Maybe fortunately for us if they keep putting up 7 runs.
Full count.
I think
Graham Peterson trying to make a response to try to get some movement on the bases.
we 3-2 pitch. And that'll miss. Peterson on with his second walk of the night. 2 on, 1 out for Noah Avey. Game was going by pretty fast in the first 4 innings. Evil Sizer and Bennett were having a pitcher's duel. Then that big 6-run spot in the top of the 5th broke things open and slowed things down. A lot of walks. A lot more hits, obviously. More runners.
A lot of fouls.
A lot of foul balls. My goodness, we saw a lot of foul balls last night.
Oh, yeah.
It was the River Bandits we played last night, right?
It was, yep. Strasburg Express.
It was Strasburg Express, that's right. We played the River Bandits 2 nights ago. Strasburg is who we faced last night. And they were not going down without a fight. A lot of foul balls, a lot of tough ABs. Covington, not as much fight in their at-bats just because they've been, I think, hitting a lot more early in the count. First pitch to AB misses outside, ball 1.
I always like to imagine a catcher has some sort of advantage when they're batting because they're always so used to they're used to the zone.
That one misses outside. Yeah, I think that's
Just
a really
look at
good
that.
point. AV takes that strike on the outside corner. We'll turn back and ask the umpire where it was. Yeah, with AV being a catcher, not only do you have a better rapport with the umpires, but like you said, just a better natural sense of feel of the zone. He'll follow that one straight back. Evens the count 2-2.
Look at him go.
Two-two pitch, grounded to shortstop. Going to be a chance at 2. Trouble getting out of the glove. So they'll only get the out at second base. AB able to leg out the fielder's choice and keep this inning going. 2 outs. Runners on the corners now for a newcomer.
Number 11, Caleb Newcomer.
Max, I want to ask you,
And I'm going to answer you.
because that was Noah Avey, who's now on first base for the Rebels. He broke up Bennett's no-hitter in the with his single in the 5th inning. What is your sense? What is your 2 cents on no-hitters? Because we've had some discussion. I know when Hannah was up here in the booth one time, she jinxed the Rebels no-hitter by recognizing it too early. Are you a superstitious person?
Oh, extremely superstitious. Great recovery. I think superstition is one of those things that really brings the game experience. I always have to watch. I can never watch a game at my house, by the way, because every game I watch at my house, we lose. No matter what team I support this
Really?
year, every single time at my house, I have lost. And you can say that superstition is like that doesn't mean it's a superstition, but I would always blame myself for that because I always think, what if I wasn't home when I watched the Yankees?
Right.
Every time.
1-2 pitch to newcomer. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that is out number 3. Rebels come up empty here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They've got 1 inning left to mount a comeback, but not before Covington gets a chance to add on in the top of the 9th. We'll be right back. Top of the 9th about to get started. Ethan Henry in the pitch for Newmarket. Relief southpaw pitcher.
The sophomore from Oakland University.
I was just looking, we were talking about the Nats earlier. They were trying to come back against the Rockies. They came back a little bit. They were down 10-1. Ended up losing 10-6. Hopefully the Rebels have a little more luck in their comeback. But the Nats have lost 10 in a row now. Last 2 have been to the Rockies, and the Rockies have won 3 in a row.
That is something that I haven't heard of all season.
It's ridiculous. I think that probably is the first 3-game win streak for the Rockies.
They
this
haven't
season.
beaten 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think they've won 2 in a row against the Tigers. If you can correct me if I'm wrong there.
That would be impressive.
I think they did because. Oh yeah, I think I need to be checked on that, but I am 99% sure it was against the Tigers, which is very surprising to me because they have a very nice deep pitching, some nice pitching depth. So I was expecting a little bit more from Detroit there, but
I believe the Tigers have the best record in the American League, just above your favorited Yankees.
Yankees they are. We'll make our way back.
I'm sure about that. Gonzalez set to open things up for Covington. Henry first pitch delivery. Inside strike 1. And umpire is going to stop Henry in his delivery and I think call him for a balk. Now they're going through the motions. Going back to Little League, teaching a legal pitcher delivery. It'll just be a warning with no runners on base.
1-on-1 will be the count.
And now umpire stopping play again to call him for a balk. Henry probably doing what he's been doing his whole college career. Seeing a new umpire for the first time who doesn't really agree with his mannerisms and his delivery.
I usually see a lot of consistency when it comes to what constitutes as a balk, but when it comes to his regular motions, I find it kind of odd that They're calling it a balk when he's been already pitching in his motion.
Right. Swing and a miss, strike two. At different umpires than Henry has ever seen in his college career here in the Valley League. It will be a 2-2 count because of those two balks with no runners on base. 2-2 pitch is lifted deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is foul.
Jendy Gonzalez are showing why he has been such a dominant force when it comes to his batting, keeping himself alive with still one more strike to go.
Yeah, really good swing there. It was a home run, but just pulled it a little too far left and foul. 2-2 pitch, he'll foul that one straight back. Two pitch, that one, another foul ball. Thought the umpire might call another balk on Henry there. He does have a lot of different moving parts to him on the mound. Not sure why the balk was called earlier. That one line drive to left, and Waltermeyer is going to come in and make the catch. Out number one, Gonzalez getting a little unlucky this at bat.
I think what the ump is trying to argue is the way he sets his feet up.
I think it's his feet too.
Yeah.
Pinch hitter number 33, Blake Covington.
And we have a pinch hitter in for Aiden Zorn. Obviously, Covington not too pressed about their 6-run lead, taking their best hitter out a little early. Give him some extra rest.
The junior from Hillsborough Community College, Blake Opie, watches the second one for a 1-1.
Missed just a bit low. Henry released on that curveball a little off, and he'll miss 2-1. Two-one delivery here. Out straight back. We're even, 2-2. Long look in from Henry. The pitch. Low and outside. Just missed. Ball 3 will be full. Thought he might have had it there. Hard to tell inside and outside, though, from up here. Well executed pitch, nonetheless. That one up and missed high. Ball 4.
Brent, the right field number 2, Freddie.
And here is Freddie, who is replacing Mendez in right field a couple innings ago. I believe this is his first plate appearance. Second plate appearance. Had a single his last time up. Henry misses high, ball 2.
This will be only 6th game played for Freddie. 14th at bat.
That one fouled straight back, strike one. Two-one pitch here to Freddie. Another foul straight back.
That wasn't that. I was going straight inside of here. I was ready.
Yeah, with our booth right behind, always flinching. I'm always jumping at foul balls.
You see, I remember that conversation you guys were having just yesterday, I think, about the flinching. Maybe it's because I can't really see the ball until the last second, but I think I was ready.
Henry with a beautiful pitch on the lone outside corner, not called for a strike. We'll fill up the count 3-2. Even ignited a reaction from shortstop Newcomer, who had a pretty good view of that pitch. Full count. Now miss high, another walk from Henry. This is exactly what you don't want to see. 3 bases. And also what you don't want to see for the pace of play.
It'll be number
Pitcher
7.
Number 17, Andres Gonzalez.
Andres Gonzalez is going to be coming up from Lakeland Community College.
Covington bringing in all their substitutions. Love getting all their guys reps any way they can.
From the looks of it, this might be Andres' first at-bat of the season.
First pitch.
You'd love to see that.
Little check swing, foul ball. Yeah. In college ball, it's not disrespectful like it would be in the big leagues. Just bring in all your subs with only a 6-run lead. 6-run lead is pretty comfortable, especially with only 3 outs left. So, going to get a rotation of position players in, keep them fresh, get them their summer reps.
Get some confidence raised, of course.
Exactly. That pitch misses low. AB knocks at his feet. He'll make the throw to third, and it's going to scoot by, and that will allow another run. A little bit of bad baseball all around, allowing the Lumberjacks to get their 8th run. They'll increase their lead to 7 runs.
That third base has been an absolute nightmare to try to pick up those ground balls today.
That will go down as an error to allow that run in. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Runner on second base now with 1 out. Runners on first and second when that play happened. It was a little bit of a wild pitch that AB knocked down at his feet. Tried to throw the runner out at third, but the throw got away. That one's going to miss outside, ball 2. We're even 2-2. Really want to try to avoid getting into another full count here. Want to go right after him. A 2-2 count. That one swung up the middle. It's going to get through. Covington's going to wave around their 9th run.
That's a way to get your first at bat in the Valley League, Valley Baseball League.
First at bat, first hit, first RBI.
Technically, wouldn't you have 2 RBIs because of the? No, that was just an error, right?
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Hits galore for the Lumberjacks so far in the back half of this game. Was about to say if you take out that 6th spot in the 5th inning, it would be a tie game, 1-1. Now with Covington putting up 2 runs here in the top of the 9th, that is no longer the case. That one misses up.
Can you tell me how many?
Ball
there, my
one.
screen blacked out. Yes, of course, I can tell you. So right now there's only one out, Mr. Dobkowski. How is Mike? We got a gentleman asking how his son's playing. How's John playing today?
John Dubkowski is not starting tonight. He's one of our 3 catchers that typically gets rotated in and out. It is Noah Avey behind the plate today.
Yeah, AV was behind on today's match.
That one gets by Avey. That one will be a pass ball. He has had a great defensive night behind the plate, but as we've said, bit of an adjustment working with different pitchers constantly. Different pitch arsenals, hard to receive sometimes. Message to Mr. Dubkowski though, John had a great game last night. He got the start at catcher.
He was definitely a fired up man.
Love to see it. I mean, when you've got 2 sons on one team, hard not to be.
Always like to call my teammates brothers, but I always want to know how it feels to be have your actual brother to play with you.
Yeah.
First baseman number 34, Justin Allen.
I've always heard stories about brothers playing against each other, and it's kind of funny because they know how each other plays, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're on the same team.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. Allen now up. Still 1 out. 2 runners on base now for Henry. Down the middle, strike 2. 0-2 count now. One brother pair that comes to mind right off the top of my head. Bo Naylor and Josh Naylor in the big leagues currently right now. Bo Naylor, catcher for the Cleveland Guardians. Josh Naylor, first baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Curveball, grounded to short. Newcomer going to try to turn 2. Throw from Mallow. That's in time. Never mind. He is safe at first. Got a little ahead of myself. I thought I saw it well from here.
The split-second decisions, but at a time like this.
A lot of bang plays today.
Number 19, Mark Howell.
Now runners on the corners, 2 outs. That one misses low, ball 1. But Bo Naylor and Josh Naylor, those major league brothers, they were on the same team. Josh Naylor was the first baseman for the Cleveland Guardians for a time before getting traded this past offseason. Strike 1 from Henry. We've seen lots of brother pairs in the big leagues, but that's the first one that comes to mind where both brothers were on the same team at some point.
I mean, most of my repertoire is involving basketball. Everyone knows about the Steph and Seth. Thank you, brothers. But how about the 3 Teagues?
Jeff Teague and what are the others? Who are the others?
Man, I always forget the third one.
You are way more well versed in basketball than me. Jeff Teague is the only one I know of, sadly.
Aiden Drew, yeah, the holidays.
Oh, the Gasol, of course.
The Gasols, yeah.
Swing and a miss. Henry gets a strikeout there, and that will end the frame in the top of the 9th inning.
Brooke and Robin Lopez, I'll just say that.
Heading to the bottom of the 9th now. Rebels have their last chance to come back from this big deficit. We'll see you then. Mallow here to open things up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Into pitch for the Lumberjacks, Randy Bailey, freshman lefty out of Luna. That one fouled off to the left, strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. Misses, ball 2.
Some difficulties in trying to sign in.
That one lifted, foul off to the left.
And hits the bleachers 2nd time today.
Don't worry, Max, that laptop in front of you is touchscreen.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
Want some more convenience while it's on. There you go.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Mallow goes down swinging. Out number 1 here in the 9th. Not necessarily a save situation for Randy Bailey.
From Colorado State University. Center fielder, number 15, Logan.
Here's Kelly now. And he'll lift that one high in the shallow center. Second baseman backpedaling. Center fielder will call him off and make the catch for out number 2. Rebels now down to their last out.
From Penn State, Harrisburg. Left fielder, number 25, Lane Waltemeyer.
Lane Waltemeyer, the Rebels' last hope. Looking for a miracle. Pitch on the outside, strike 1. Looking for a Max. Are you a Harry Potter fan? What's the thing in Quidditch called? The golden snitch.
The snitch, I think. I was not the biggest Harry Potter guy growing up, actually.
Really?
I was not. I read the books, but I'm pretty sure it's called the snitch.
I hope this doesn't come off as an insult, but you seem like a big Harry Potter fan. to
Oh,
me.
wow. It doesn't come off as an insult, but
Good. I didn't mean it.
I mean, I mean, obviously, it was a very popular book when I was growing up. But when it comes to, I did enjoy reading it and watching the movies. But I'm drawing closer to the opposite of Star Wars.
I'm the same way. I'm more of a Star Wars fan than Harry Potter.
You need to actually start catching up on the Mandalorian. Actually,
2-1 pitch misses outside. 3-1 count now to Waltemeyer. And he'll take that one for ball 4. Now the Rebels got some power coming up to the plate, and Mike Dubkowski. Game close to being over, but not yet set and match.
Right fielder from Enterprise College, Mike Dubkowski.
First pitch to Mike. Swing and a miss. Dubkowski batting from the right side with a lefty on the mound. Takes strike 2. Covington is 1 strike away from their 6th win of the season. Grounded foul off to the left. Bailey comes set on the mound.
if you're hearing the clapping, it's all from the Covington dugout. As they're trying to get something going for the last strike.
Going with a crescendo team clap. I think that's the right terminology there. Slowly
Crescendo.
accelerating their clapping. Curveball. Umpire is going to give him the call on the inside corner to end the game. And that will go down. Covington comes away with the win, 9-1.
Taking the win.
After what looked like to be a pitcher's duel to start the game, quickly turned into a offensive onslaught for the Lumberjacks.
The Rebels will be back home. June 20th.
Rebels got the day off tomorrow, but they're on the road to Front Royal on Thursday and then back home again on Friday. Covington fans, hope you guys have a good night. Rebels fans, see you on Friday hopefully.
Have a great
Have
night.
everyone hopefully has a good night.
See you later.